From KWTV, Oklahoma City, this is News 9 at 10.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us tonight.
I'm Jennifer Pierce in for Amanda Taylor this evening, and we begin tonight with new details on the sex offender fighting for his life after turning a gun on himself.
He shot himself when detectives came to question him about a recent crime against a child. Rusty Surratt joins us now with the latest on this. Rusty?
And Kelly, Larry Kirby is no stranger to the justice system. He is a convicted child molester who's had plenty of run-ins with the law. But this time, when police tried to talk to him about a new crime involving a kid, he tried to end it all.
Over the years, Larry Dale Kirby has sported a different look, but he could never outrun his reputation. Just ask his neighbors.
I don't know that much about him, except that I've heard that he was a child molester.
That's why they weren't too surprised when detectives showed up at his apartment on South Harvey. But what happened next left everyone in shock.
As they were looking for this person who was a subject of the lead that they were wanting to talk with, they heard a gunshot go off from inside this structure.
Kirby was rushed out on a stretcher after shooting himself in the face. He was then put into an ambulance and rushed to a hospital with a police escort. Kirby is a level 3 lifetime registered sex offender, and his previous crimes have involved lewd acts with children. Police say when they showed up here on Tuesday, they only wanted to talk with the 43-year-old about a recent crime involving a child. That crime made headlines across the metro, and detectives say he has information that may be relevant to the case. But they stopped short of calling him a suspect.
No arrest has been made. There's not a warrant for this person. Again, it was just a lead that came in to our investigative detail, and they were out here to follow up on that lead.
And this afternoon, Kirby was listed in stable condition, but tonight his condition is critical. Kelly?
All right, Rusty, another note on this. Police towed several small gray cars, including one police say had a gun inside. Now, that's significant because last week someone kidnapped and sexually assaulted an 11-year-old girl who was walking to Jefferson Middle School. And she told police the man pointed a gun at her and forced her into a small gray car. So far, police are not connecting the two incidents. This is a sketch of the man police believe to be the kidnapper in that case. And today, police revealed the same man may have been seen at another school just 2 days after the first attack, trying again to persuade several children to leave with him.
The kids did say that this male subject had a dog with him, a small dog, and had encouraged the children to come up and play with the animal. He appeared very angry when confronted and told this person that he was actually there to pick up a child of his own.
Again, this is a sketch of the suspect who abducted the student last week. If you have any information on that crime, call Crime Stoppers 235-7300.
This just into News 9, the Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation and the Medical Examiner's Office have been called out to just south of Fort Supply. That's near the Panhandle. And we understand remains have been found there. So far, officials are not saying whether they are human. Now to Stillwater, where police say someone attacked a student who was leaving the OSU library. This happened last night. She suffered only minor injuries. She told police the man did not have a weapon. Now here's how she described the attacker as a young white man with short hair, about 5'6", around 150 pounds. If you have any information, you are asked to call OSU police at 744-6523. Now an update to breaking news. The gunman police say shot a man 6 times yesterday is now behind bars. An off-duty police officer found Raul Garcia riddled with bullets and covered in blood. He was walking near the Kilpatrick Turnpike yesterday. Just hours later, at about 10:30 last night, police arrested Refugio Gonzalez at a southwest Oklahoma City apartment. Gonzalez is charged with shooting with intent to kill, and we just checked. Garcia is listed in critical condition.
A hip-hop-based learning program at Oklahoma City Public Schools is on hold. That happened after we informed the superintendent about some questionable content in some of the vocabulary books. Well, tonight our Colleen Chin shows us a school that says rap and rhythm works. Colleen?
Well, Kelly, the Oklahoma City School District told us last week that the charter school Seaworth Academy was using the vocabulary program. We now know they've only purchased the curriculum and have not yet implemented it. There are now plans to throw it out, though, because at Seaworth, music and learning are inseparable. On the outside, Seaworth Academy is known for helping at-risk kids. Inside, they are known perhaps more accurately as At Promise.
I want to do something. I don't want to just be another person. I don't want to drop out of school.
They've watched plenty of their friends do just that, and they've buried others. But these At Promise kids find hope in music in Henry Rice's classroom.
I forget all about my problems, the issues that I have at home.
Which in turn frees 18-year-old Abraham Corona to study and overcome his troubles. His mom left when he was young.
At one point in my life, I thought if my mom didn't care about me and I don't have none of my family with me, then why should I care? I'm just going to drop out.
Until he, like others, came to Seaworth and found a different way to learn. He's found rap to be his best learning tool.
It helped me learn more words, broaden my vocabulary.
The kids at Seaworth have been making their own music and raps, even CDs of them, for more than 5 years now.
You know, some of the classroom teachers are, hey, you know what, this kid comes to school because they want to do music, and consequently, they perform to another level in my class, whether it be math, science, social studies.
That's why Seaworth Academy has purchased the vocabulary program, hoping to supplement and enhance what is already working. The content from vocabulary that's been called into question is something Director Janet Griggs says she saw before making the purchase, knowing with all things there can be good and bad.
We won't be using anything that is disrespectful. We won't be using anything that is derogatory to anyone or anybody. We will do as we've always done, and that's show respect.
It's the #1 rule at Seaworth. #2, don't disrupt learning. And music is how these kids are doing that.
When you learn a song, you have to memorize it.
And so, vocabulary will find a place here in the lesson plans. Life lessons, though, more than their fair share, will always be through their own lyrics.
Like I said, it's coming from my heart because it's a lot of emotion, a lot of things I have to say.
And meanwhile, Oklahoma City public school leaders say an investigation into the use and purchase of vocabulary in the district is still in the early stages.
Tonight, many of you are talking about the Oklahoma Impact Team's investigation into the high cost of care for Oklahomans with developmental disabilities. Now, last legislative session, there was a push to close the Southern Oklahoma Resource Center, or SORC, and move those residents into group homes. Now, we asked you whether it should close, and a viewer from Oklahoma City says, I think by no means should this facility be closed. These kids have lived here for most of their lives, and to displace them could cause major stress on their minds and bodies. Now, Roy from Tulsa says, by history, large congregate facilities do not receive the care that smaller facilities get. As far as SORC, yes, it should be closed. And then a viewer in Norman says, maybe the state should take a closer look at where the tax dollars are being spent. Why are inmates housed in state-of-the-art facilities and people with developmental disabilities in buildings that are crumbling down around them? Now, we want to know what you think. Just go to news9.com/Oklahoma Impact.
Now to tales of wrongdoing in two towns. First in Blanchard, where a police officer claims the town isn't paying overtime to officers.
They don't have to give us overtime because we are police officers and public servants, and we just need to deal with it because we took an oath of office.
New at 10, the Blanchard police chief is responding.
He knew me and what I stand for and what my goals are and my commitment to the city and the police officers. I think you would say they're baseless, they're foundless, there's no substance.
The officer says he plans to file a complaint with the Attorney General. Now, in Maud, stealing from that city appears to be a family affair. An audit shows 3 former Maud City employees, all related, stole more than $90,000 from the town over 2 years. No one even noticed until last November when the mayor thought it was fishy that the city couldn't make payroll just a couple of months into a new budget.
We started an investigation and got the city auditor involved and found out he wasn't legal, and then just within 3 or 4 days, everybody started coming, singing, and saying this is what we did.
The DA says he will wait for the state to finish its investigation before deciding on any criminal charges.
New developments tonight, and the Sooner Spirit Squad in trouble with the law. 4 members of the OU Roughnecks won't face charges after all. The OU Roughnecks are responsible for guarding the Sooner Schooner and keeping school spirit alive. But one tradition did get them in trouble, painting Red River Raid on the Goldsby Bridge along I-35. When a McLean County deputy busted the boys on the eve of the OU Texas weekend, the district attorney said he planned to file charges against them. Instead, the 4 students will now perform community service.
All right, you got to check this one out. An Oklahoma girl is showing she can be both pretty in pink and comfortable in camo. Kelsey Weaver is a Poto High School senior. She's 17. She's on the basketball team, involved with the student council. She's not afraid to show her girly side, but she loves to hunt, too. And she proved that last weekend when she took down a more than 200-pound black bear with a crossbow during last weekend's bear hunting season.
I was so happy and excited and nervous all at the same time.
Kelsey is also the first female hunter in the state to kill a bear during Oklahoma's new black bear hunting season.
Next on News 9.
How strong is Sarah Palin's star power? Muzzling an Oklahoma pastor preaching politics from the pulpit. And will bolstering schools cause hospitals to suffer? Next on the night side.
Big storm system in the east, one in the west, and we're happily in between. We'll check and see how long that will go on.
Bob Stoops' news conference today. The Sooners take a break, but they know they had plenty of room for improvement. But OU and OSU men's basketball teams can't be thrilled with where they are picked to finish in the Big 12 Conference. This and more later in sports.
And maybe firefighters were right to just watch as a house burned to the ground. My 2 cents when News 9 continues.